Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and I hope you have absolutely fabulous day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create tri-shatter card with no special cutting dice. As you can see, the card folds flat. I'm going to use Simply Cards and Papercraft free gift issue 237. In the magazine you can find lots of amazing ideas and projects, but you also get a free gift called Winter Woodland with 25-piece stamp set collection. And what's really good about this issue, you also get a water brush, 4 watercolor postcards you can paint in and post it to someone that you like. You also get watercolor paint included, and with those postcards, as I said, you can post them or you can use them for a variety of projects, and I do encourage you to use them that way. So here we've got a very small set of watercolor paint, and to be honest, I was totally impressed how well they work on watercolor paper. So if you have never ever tried watercolor paint before, I really hope you will use the free gift from this issue. I put some water in the water brush and I'm going to start painting the robin. To be honest, with that water brush, I wasn't really happy with the lid because the orange part comes off. But when you paint, it doesn't really matter. I always encourage you to test your paint before you start painting the image. That will make a massive difference. And as you can see, I'm starting with that yellowish oranges red part of robin. And what's really good about watercolor paints, they blend beautifully. So if you haven't tried them, maybe this set is perfect for you, because sometimes it is tricky to actually find what is the best medium to color in your images. And as you can see, in this set you don't really get brown, but with watercolors you can mix them. Like in this case, I mixed green and red, and these two colors make brown. So yes, you can do it. At the very bottom of the set, you also get a little bit of black, so you can add that to make your colors darker. But be careful, because black goes a long way. So as you can see, I'm trying to add some details, and a very big tip for you. Whenever you paint with watercolors, make sure that the spaces you want to paint next to each other are completely dry, because otherwise they will bleed through. Because using water, and water spreads, right? So as you can see, this robin comes together really quickly. And if you want to add very fine details, make sure all the surface is completely dry. And that's how I added the details here. Now it is time to paint the branch, and as you can see, I don't really take much paint from the palette anymore. I take the paint from the bottom of the card. So yes, you can use watercolor card as a palette as well. And that's what's really amazing about watercolors, because they react with water. That's exactly what they are. So this is so simple to use, and as I said, if you want to add very fine details, make sure you wait for the whole paint to dry completely, and then you can add another layer. Super simple, right? I also on the heavy ever use watercolor paints in your card making. If you have, what project did you create? Please let me know in the comments down below. I really like to stretch my stash, and in this case, as I said, I'm not going to use any dice for this card. I'm going to use my trimmer, and I work out some measurements for tri-shatter card, and I'm going to explain that later on, so stay tuned for that. I also wonder, how often do you use robin images for winter or Christmas cards? Because I think these birds are just so beautiful and literally perfect for Christmas makes. If you agree, let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't seen my snow globe cards with robins, the link is at the top right corner, so you can click on it and check that video later on. And like in this case, I'm going to trim the picture of my robin slightly, so I'm not worried about the colors at the bottom. So yes, you can use that card as a palette as well. So far, I like the image. Do you like it too? If you do, let me know. And this is so quick to do. I think it took me about 8 minutes to paint the robin. So as you can see, watercolors are pretty quick to work with. So if you haven't tried them yet, maybe today is the day. As you can see, I'm also painting the berries, and I'm trying to paint one berry, then move on to a different one that doesn't touch it. Now, I also have some design papers that were included in the magazine. You actually have to go to Craft World and download them. And these are perfect. I absolutely love this collection, and I thought let's use those images and design papers for the try shatter card. So here I've got my trimmer, and I've got 9 by 7 inches card. It is 300 GSM white melty purpose card, and first I'm going to measure 1.5 inch, and I'm going to score it. And to do it, I've got my scoring tool. And if you have a trimmer like this, you can move the blade and use your scoring tool. Now I'm going to score it at 3 inches, and it is time to turn the card. So at this point, I'm going to do it at, let's say, 3, and then 1.5. So you can always turn your card, and this is the easiest way to do it. So here are my measurements, and yes, you can use them for your cards. As you can see, we can see the scoring lines, and now I'm going to put it at 1.5 inch, and I'm going to put the blade exactly at 1.5 again, and then I'm going to cut my card until the very last 1.5 inch. And as you can see, it is so easy with that trimmer. So if you have a trimmer like this, please use it to create shatter cards. Now, as you can see, we've got some score lines, and we have to create all those folds. So we've got some mountain and valleys. And this way, we are going to create very beautiful and unique card. So if you have never ever created a try shatter card, I really hope I will encourage you to do it. Because to be honest, it is super simple and you don't need any cutting dice. So yes, you can use it for your Christmas or maybe birthday cards, and that would be amazing. And if you do, please let me know in the comments down below. As you can see, it opens really beautifully. Then you have to decide which side you are going to decorate. If you have any folds in the middle that you don't like, you can always use your scoring board or scoring bone. Now it is time to actually put our robin on the card. But first, I have a look at this, and I thought I didn't actually paint all the berries I should. So now I'm going to do it before I attach it on my card. And whenever I create any mats and layers for any of the projects, I usually leave from 7 millimeters to 1 centimeter difference between the panels. And I think this is the way to go. So our robin is nearly done, and at this point I thought I really like it, but maybe I can add a little bit more interest to this image. And first I'm going to take off some paint, and this is super simple. All you have to do is to wet the surface where the paint is that you don't want, and use the tissue to lift the color off. Super quick and simple. Now I'm going to use those 2 design papers, and I'm going to create all those elements to adhere on the card. And what I usually do with printed design papers, I've got some double-sided tape on the back, because this way your card will be stronger. And what's really good about any of these elements, use a few drops of liquid glue, and this way they will be adhered forever. I also wonder, have you ever created a try shatter card? If you haven't, I really hope you will try it, because it is super simple. It doesn't take that much time, but it looks amazing. As you can see here, I tried to go with very interesting design. So I've got those amazing poinsettias from the design papers, and that beautiful blue-green design paper. I absolutely love it, and I think it is perfect for Christmas makes. So if you haven't downloaded those papers from Craft World, please do it. and I will leave the link in the description down below if you're interested. All you have to do is to create a free account to have access to those papers. So this is ready, and as you can see, the card folds flat. So yes, you can put it in 5 by 7 inches envelope. Now I'm going to decorate the right hand side panels because why not? And I'm trying to mirror the same design. And I wonder, do you do that in your card making, or do you just try to go with diagonal lines, for example, with your composition? I'm really curious, what's the way to go for you? Now when this is ready, all we have to do is actually to decorate all the other panels. And with those poinsettias, as you can see here, they are very bright and vivid. But with the design paper, you actually have some elements with, let's say, pale blue. So I thought it would be very nice to actually complement all the design papers we already have on that card. So that's exactly what I did. I used the leftover card, and I actually created those small panels. One will go at the top and one at the bottom. Super simple, right? So far, good. But what's missing? We have to add our robin. And at this point, when I added those pale blue berries, I thought, let's use very similar color, just to add more interest to the robin. And I had a look at my stash, and I found Distress Oxide ink in Stormy Sky. And I thought that would be perfect, just to add a little bit something more to the image. And I'm going to use my ink blending tool to apply the color. Super simple, and I really think that makes a difference. And our card will be complete. But if you know me, you know what's missing on my card. So I'm also going to add some gems. Because when I look at those bright poinsettias, I really like them. But I thought a few very pink, fuchsia looking gems would be perfect. And if you like them, please let me know in the comments down below. But before I add some gems, it is time for a sentiment. And I use Happy Christmas sentiment from that winter Woodland stamp set collection. And I'm going to use my black Spectrum Noir ink. And I think this is the best ink when it comes to watercolor card, because it always gives me the crisp look. If you agree, let me know, or maybe use different black ink on watercolor card. Now I'm going to cut it with my scissors, and I'm going to use the same Stormy Sky Distress Oxide ink. And if you're interested in any of the products I use in today's video, I left the links in the description down below, and some of the links are affiliate links, so which means at no extra cost to you, I get a very small commission. So please use my links because that really supports my channel. It is time to add that Distress Oxide ink around the sentiment, and at this point I couldn't decide, should it be on the left of the robin at the top or maybe at the bottom. And in the end, I decided it is going to be at the bottom. So I use my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, to put all those elements together, including those amazing gems. So the card is finished. What do you think about this project? Do you like it? Would you like to give it a go? And at the back, you've got lots of space to write your message. So please don't be worried. You do have space for a very long message, and the card stands flat on a flat surface. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Have a wonderful day, happy crafting, and see you in my next video. Bye!